Hello, my name is Christopher Gilbreth, and I am here to talk about and further elaborate on my observational assignment. Basically, my first connection, which was from the basketball game, I kind of connected that to the acts of kindness assignment we did. And how that connected for me was I continuously stayed at the basketball game, I could have left and cheered for the team, even though, it didn't benefit me at all, staying there. I could have been doing something else, or I could have just, not said anything, but instead I stayed and I cheered and I made sure they felt supported um to these random people. And I mean, I guess we go to the same school, but I don't know these people. I don't care to know these people. But I felt like that was the right thing to do, just to kind of be nice and be supportive. Just like kind of how we were standing out in the street, in the cold. These people aren't giving me any money. These people aren't recognizing me for any award or anything. These are just random people, and I'm spreading kindness to these people. Trying to make sure they get that message, whether they like it or not. And I felt like that was that was very similar to me, like me staying and cheering on the basketball team. I'm sure they didn't care whether I stayed or not. I'm sure a lot of the people that walked by saw our message didn't care whether I was out there or not, but it felt good to kind of do that. And it allowed me to kind of, still kind of be kind and be nice to people, I'm usually generally not nice to or random people, I guess you could say, in this situation. And then for my second connection, which was the concert, I connected that to how we watched Toy Story and talked about changing dynamic or the changing of like leadership roles in like an ecosystem. Kind of like how like Woody was always that leader character because there was nobody to challenge that role. Kind of like the girl that performed first, she knew that we had to sit there and listen to her in order to listen to the other artists that we really came to see. So there was no other option besides, leaving the concert. And I'm sure she knew that a lot of people didn't want to do that. So we had to sit through her and listen to her music, no matter what. And that all changed when she kind of got through her set and was kind of still performing, but it was time for the next guy to come on. Everybody kind of wrote her off. Nobody kind of really listened to what she was saying. Everybody was kind of ready for the next guy. Kind of like when Buzz came along, everybody kind of wrote off Rudy and didn't really care for what he had to say. Everybody was kind of focused on Buzz and what Buzz had to say and how Buzz was leading. And I guess that kind of like helped me paint that picture of the importance, or not the importance, but the way like leadership roles can change and how roles in general can change in like an ecosystem. Um, and for my final observation, or like how I connected it, um, I know we talked about like generations a lot, and we did the assignment where we all talked about our different generations and like similarities and differences in our own personal experiences. But how that like how I connect that to the club was, so this club is known for being like an 18 plus club, but there's no like age maximum. So sometimes there are people in this club like 40 plus, 50 plus. It kind of just depends on who comes. And you can see that throughout the crowd with like the different attire, the different dances, the different reactions. Um, and just like that generational picture that we painted for each other in class kind of helped me like, okay, see like, okay, this person isn't part of my generation. Maybe they're part of Generation X. They're wearing something different. They're dancing different. They're acting different. Like I know, like one guy I saw, he looked, in his 40s. A lot of people from my generation like to wear like a lot of layers, not really extravagant, but kind of complex outfits. And this guy in his 40s just had on a sleeveless tank top and some shorts, but he was having a great time, as opposed to like kids in my generation, like they had on these crazy outfits and they were still having a great time, kind of coexisting in the same environment, but the basis was different. Like I guess the building blocks were different for these two different people or these two different kinds of people. And I know in class, like we talked about like the differences between like my generation, Generation X, millennials, and that kind of helped me just realize like, or not even realize, but that kind of helped me gel these differences together kind of when I was out at this club. Um, So those are my connections.